I would definitely say reproductive rights. It's probably a big issue for me because I have she's not my birth daughter, but she is my stepdaughter and she is my daughter. So I would say that was one of the issues that drove me here.
My biggest fear is that we will definitely become Handmaid's Tales, if you guys have ever seen that. That is my biggest fear, and I have 2 young.
Yeah, we've seen Handmaid's Tales. It's very scary stuff. That's a sign of how much the abortion issue mattered. In the first presidential election since the Supreme Court struck down the Roe versus Wade ruling guaranteeing a right to abortion. So abortion was on the ballot in 10 states yesterday. 7 of those measures were approved. 3 states said no thanks. This follows a series of victories in other elections when voters were asked if abortion should be legal in their states. CBS Mornings Plus. First time I got to say that. CBS Mornings Plus co-anchor Adriana Diaz. She's been covering this story and joins us at the table. Hey, we're in your hour, Adriana Diaz.
Technically, but we're all in all of our hours.
So 5 states had severe limits or had abortion bans going into Election Day. What happened to those measures?
So in the 5 states that had severe restrictions or bans going into these amendment votes, 2 of them expanded access. Those are Arizona, notably a battleground state, and also Missouri, or Missouri, depending on how you want to say it. 3 states maintained their bans or their limitations, and they all have interesting stories. South Dakota is one. They ban abortion at all times of a pregnancy. No exception for rape, no exception for incest. Only an exception to save a mother's life. And in South Dakota, it's a felony if you conduct an abortion, punishable up to 2 years in prison. You have to pay up to a $4,000 fine, potentially. Another state that upheld its ban is Nebraska. And that's interesting because it's the only state that actually had 2 dueling amendments. So there were 2 amendments on the ballot. One to expand abortion access past the 12 weeks that is currently legal up to viability. The other to ban abortion in the 2nd and 3rd trimesters with some exceptions. The one that got the most votes was the ban in the 2nd and 3rd trimesters. And then the last state that had severe bans or restrictions that upheld them is Florida, of course. They have that 6-week ban. They had an amendment that would expand abortion access to viability. What's interesting here is 57.1% of Floridians, a solid majority, voted for this amendment to expand abortion access. However, to change the Constitution in the state of Florida, you need 60%, so it did not hit that.
Yeah. So what are the results from yesterday due to the overall map on reproductive rights?
Well, particularly in the South, what it does is that it solidifies the restrictive nature of abortion access in the South. And so Florida, before Dobbs, used to be a place where women would go to seek abortion care. It used to be legal up to 24 weeks in Florida before Dobbs. After Dobbs, that went down to 6 to 15 weeks. And then now it's legal only up until 6 weeks. So if you are in the Deep South, you now have to travel to places like Virginia and North Carolina. That's hundreds of miles, 1,000 miles if you're going from Miami to certain places in order to seek that care. And it just creates more barriers to getting that abortion care.
So what do we learn about from the exit polling on Americans' views on abortion?
Because this issue's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. It's probably going to be right back on the ballot in 2 years. And what the exit polling shows is that 66% of voters say that they think abortion should be legal. 31% think it should be illegal. So we have a very solid majority supporting abortion access. But what it shows is that people are willing to split their vote on this issue. There are 4 states that voted to expand abortion access through these amendments. Those states are Arizona, Nevada, Missouri, Montana, and those are all states that either went for or are leaning toward Trump.
Fascinating. All right, Adriana, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.